Hi, I'm John. I've made a couple other videos about how to do certain transfers. In this video, I want to show you a new way that I created to transfer onto my Zero Turn. I've just gotten to the point where I'm just a little too old. My shoulders are a little too wore out to make the transfers I used to do whenever I was younger. This is a John Deere Zero Turn that I'd purchased so that I could help my wife mow grass. And I kind of went against my previous rulings when buying a Zero Turn, where I said before, get a Zero Turn that doesn't have any foot controls. This one's got foot controls, so they become part of in the way. And the other thing, because they have foot controls, they do require you to press a parking brake, which I had to override. I'll show you once I get onto the Zero Turn. So this is a John Deere Z994r diesel mower. It has a 72-inch cut and it has a rear discharge, so that as I'm mowing, the wind doesn't blow, or the grass doesn't blow out and then blow right back into my face. So I'm going to show you what I created here, all this stuff up above, to make this transfer very easy. I started out, I found on eBay this lift that you see up here. Now this is just a ceiling lift, but the one thing with this, it's called a ceiling lift with traverse. And I paid $300 for that lift, and then I had to buy the rail because I couldn't find that rail anyplace, and that was another $300. So in building this lift, if you find a used lift or a used railing on the internet, you can really get this thing and make it pretty cheap. So this ceiling lift has traverse, and what that means is once I get lifted up, I can use the remote control to travel right and left. So here, if I just push this way, it's going to travel. If I push the other way, it's going to go the opposite direction. Now this lift mechanism, I'm going to lower down, and I'm going to put this in my armpits and then this under each knee. Then when I lift up, it just lifts me up in a sitting position. I transfer right across to the driver's seat. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how that works, but I want to explain a little bit of what I had to do in making this. The problem was I needed to get my butt this high off the ground. Normally in a ceiling in your house, you don't need to get your butt this high, but because that mower's that high, I had to get my butt this high when I go lifting. So I had to raise that ceiling lift up a little bit more than it normally would be in a house. And you see I put some blocks there. I built this little, I had this little lift here that I just used that as my starting point. And then over here on the top of the room here, I put the other end. So that made that ceiling rail high enough so that I could run this lift and get my butt high enough to clear that seat. So the beauty of the system is I can be totally independent with getting on and off of this mower. Whereas before, I had built a platform that came to here, and then I transferred down and across. But like I said, I've just gotten too old to do that kind of transfer now, and it's just, I just don't have the shoulders anymore to do it. So I'm going to show you how I get onto this one. First thing I do is I just get myself into position. I'm just going to slide into here and put this under my armpits. And then I've lowered this enough so that I can put this under each knee. And you want to make sure you're not catching your chair. There's that leg. We'll put under that leg. And now as you're into this, you'll just get an idea of where is this best up and down, because you can adjust these so that it stays with your body or your knees come in the air whenever you lift up. And now I've caught my remote, and I'm just going to slowly start to lift, because as I lift, I want to make sure my feet don't get caught in the footrest. Just lift up a little bit here. As this is coming up, it's squeezing my chest, so it doesn't hurt, but it's holding me in tighter, and it makes it a very easy transfer and still lets you run this lift control. So I'm going to lift up a little bit at a time. And now I'm starting to come off the chair. So let me just get the chair so that my feet are clear. Again, if you had brakes, it'd be much easier. Put the brakes on the chair. Now I'm going to lift up. And then as I lift up, make sure I get high enough to clear that. And now I'm just going to use the traverse option. And just keep going over till I feel that I'm over top of the seat. And then lower down. This was a very good way for a very good safe transfer into the zero turn. And just give this a push off. So hopefully if you have a zero turn, you have a garage that you could do something like this in. And then I would just leave this sit here. And now in operating a zero turn, the one thing I had to do different on this zero turn because I didn't have the parking brake ability is I just put a little override button here so that whenever I want to start, instead of having the parking brake on, if I hold this button, that system thinks I have the parking brake on, so it lets me start. But with this type of a zero turn, you never really need a parking brake because when you're not moving these sticks any, it sits still because it's a hydrostatic transmission. So then to get off of the machine, so normally I would just get on, just go out and mow, and then come back in here into the same spot. This would all be still reachable. Hopefully the chair would still be where it is. And even though this is traverse, I can pull it manually instead of running the motor. So just get that to where I need it. Now while mowing, I would have on a seat belt. Very important, when you get to this point, take the seat belt off. I say that from experience. So we'll take this, put this under each leg again, get into position here, and I'm just going to lift up. Now it's a little bit tricky when you lift up because when I'm on my way over, I don't know which direction I'm going to spin. Because the way this strap works, I think it's going to just go across and spin me forward like it needed to be from the beginning. And as I lift up, I'm going to start myself into the right direction now, which is going this way. As I come across, so my feet aren't about to clear, let me get a little more height. There we go. And then go across. So I'm kind of positioning myself for the angle I need to be in. Over the chair, lower down. Hook this back. And this is my new method for getting on and off the zero turn in a safe manner. And that was something that was important to me because as I was struggling before with it, I would get on and off of it, but almost every time I went to transfer, I damn near got hurt doing it. This time, this system will help me for many years to come to get on and off of this mower. I hope this video has helped you. If you are in the market for any of these, I urge you look for used on the internet. This equipment is very expensive if you have to buy it new, but if you find it used, you can almost find it for free.